Now, South Sudan has seen a new wave of clashes since December, forcing at least 300,000 people to flee. The fighting between government forces and troops loyal to the country's first vice president, Riek Machar, is threatening the fragile power-sharing peace deal. The BBC's Kalkidan Yibeltal had a rare access into Jonglei State, the epicenter of the fighting and humanitarian crisis.
Clashes between South Sudan's government forces and rebels, especially in Jonglei, the largest state, have left several dead and hundreds of thousands without homes. Among them is Nyawan Kwang. She told me her village had become a battlefield.
My father and mother were killed in airstrikes inside a house. Fire came from the sky and burned them. I fled with my 5 children and came here.
Some question whether there is enough concern for civilians like Nyawan.
The government forces as a responsible army have taken the measures to ensure that the civilians are not involved in the situation.
At the center of South Sudan's current wars are these two men, Salva Kiir, who is the president since independence, and Riek Machar, his main opponent and until last year, the country's first vice president, according to a power-sharing agreement. But a year ago, Kiir placed Machar under house arrest, and he is now on trial for murder and treason, charges that he denies. Earlier this year, rebels known as the Sudan's People Liberation Army in Opposition, or SPLA-IO, who are aligned with Machar, launched an offensive on government positions and threatened to advance on the nation's capital, Juba. The response from the government was a series of airstrikes.
We suffered a lot. There are two forces, the government and SPLA-IO, and we are the ones who die. That's why we ran away.
Besides security, logistics is a key challenge humanitarians face in South Sudan as they seek to reach to millions of people living in scattered and remote villages. To get to people living in those areas that are not accessible by road, aid agencies often use boats like this that are being loaded on the River Nile. South Sudan is struggling, and many say they are desperate for peace.
For anything meaningful to happen in South Sudan or anywhere else, peace has to return.
Several countries in this region, including Sudan and Somalia, are grappling with chronic security problems. The world shouldn't look away as another nation slides into disorder.